And hello, guys. Well, haven't seen you people in a long time. The movie I'm going to be reviewing today, it's Godzilla, and I saw it in 3D as well. So let's get this sorted. Well, let's start with story, shall we? The basic story of this is if the title says it's about Godzilla, but it's more of a thing of discovering, you don't see Godzilla straight away. It sort of builds up to a final fight between him and another monster. But I mean, I knew when I got into a film that there's going to be a big final fight, as that you would expect it because it's a monster film. But I really like in this how they built up to it. It was quite suspenseful, especially there were some bits which I didn't see coming. There was one bit which I was like, okay, that is very well done. There's some nice twists and turns, and it was really, for me, it was seeing how would the humans survive, and it was very tense and well paced, because I don't usually expect these kinds of things to have an amazing pace, but this was paced very well. The story leading up to all the big fighting and stuff was very intriguing. You got some sprinkles before the big one. And the whole sort of just looking at how it was caused, and the whole how they sort of learn about the creatures was really interesting to me. I know it's like a myth and all that. But it was actually generally very good story for me. Well paced, and I would say quite intriguing. So this film had, I would say for me, it had one main actor, who's probably well known, and that guy was Bryan Cranston. He's the main one I pretty much recognised. And him as a actor, he was very good in this. I've heard people say, oh, he balls it in too much, but I think that showed his character quite well because of the stuff he goes through. And you do sort of get that he's very good at acting, sort of maybe a bit crazy, but that very determined person, and he acts out all his emotions really well. At the start, when a tragedy happens, that's all I'm gonna say. It's really, he acts out his role, and I like how you see him pretty much lose it, and he does it in a very convincing way, acting. Some of the other actors, you've got Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ken Watanabe, Elizabeth Olsen. So a lot I didn't recognise. I mean, I know in every review I say this, but I didn't really find any bad acting. They all played their roles quite well, and I really thought the scientist, the Japanese scientist, was very good. He was good in it. I enjoyed him. And the other guy, the dad's pretty much son, very good acting. It didn't feel too overhammy or anything like that. So across the board, good acting for me. Graphics, now what did I think of 3D? For this one, it suited it really well. Granted, it took a bit of time for my eyes to get used to the glasses. They're not as uncomfy as people say. I actually found after 10 minutes my eyes had adjusted, and for some bits I really liked it. Some bits it was okay, but when it needed to, it worked really well. And since this was a monster movie pretty much, it suited it. The things of the fights of the monsters, you could just feel the presence of these creatures and stuff. And I thought the animation of the fights was really well done. They both had because it was a huge scale of fights, and they had to do some really cool effects with it. So overall, good graphics, as you would expect, because it's a very big hyped film. So, and overall, I just really enjoyed this film. I mean, good acting, the great animation, like computer graphics, and good decent story with a nice amount of pacing for me. I can't really think of much to criticize. I mean, you could maybe criticize it for not having much originality, but it didn't need it, because, you know, for me it had the most important things, which was still an interesting plot and really good fights. Granted, maybe the last fight could have been a little bit longer, but then I feel maybe they would have stretched it out too long for me. But yes, good film, well worth watching. Watch it in 3D if you can, because I watched it and I thought it was brilliant in 3D. It worked with the 3D very well. So that's my opinions on Godzilla. Worth watching. Go out and see it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.